National Institute of Smart Government shall be the session chair of this particular session, as Akhaya ji is not currently present, and the presentation on behalf of Mr. Akhaya shall be represented by Mr. Suresh Kumar. So I now hand over the session to Mr. Chaudhary, please.
Yes, on the rise. Esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here today on the eODISHA summit. From what we've heard, it's been an extremely important session, and we hope that it continues to be so in this session and the next as well. To begin this session right away, I would like to invite Neeraj to come and share his thoughts and take the ice. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Neeraj. I happen to be the regional head for Acer India Limited. I am joined by my colleague out here, Jinder Singh, who is responsible for the commercial business of Eastern part. What I am going to do is, I will talk about my company, worldwide, how Acer is positioned, and it's a sheer privilege and absolute pleasure to present it in front of you all. So what we are going to do is, we will just show you a video of an ad which we had launched during Diwali. It is, we had re-signed Hrithik Roshan as a brand ambassador. So that is the ad we are going to show to start with and set the ball rolling. Progressive and human.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Acer laptops.
Our mission, breaking the barriers between people and technology, explore beyond limits. So that is what Hrithik Roshan was trying to prove as far as the ad was concerned. This gentleman, Mr. J.T. Wong, is a chairman. He is based out of Taiwan. He is one of the 100 most influential people as far as the times most influential people are concerned in the world. Mr. Jim Wong, he is a corporate president, again based out of Taiwan. This is some financial facts as far as Acer is concerned. Revenues for 2011, we work January to December, so this is December 2011. We reached $15.7 billion. All across the world, we have around 8,000 employees. We have 95,000 retail stores in 70 countries. As on December 12, that is Q4 ending, we are number 4 as far as total PC and number 4 as far as notebook worldwide is concerned. Established in 1976 with only 25,000 US dollars in capital and only 11 employees. So from 11 employees, we are now at 8,000 employees. So what we have done is we have bought out several brands in different parts of the world. Like we have this very strong US brand called Acer, which is Gateway, which is now part of Acer, and we have also launched Gateway in India for the consumer market. Like Packet Bell, it's pretty strong as far as European market is concerned, and Founder is also one of the leading brands as China is concerned. And creating a sustainable company and contributing positively to the society. Acer is a global citizen and committed to integrating and embedding CSR into our daily operation. We design environmentally friendly products, and we have established a green supply chain through a collaboration with suppliers. So we are the only OEM that offers the touch features across all consumer categories of products and presenting a whole new range of Windows 8 devices. We have also a few devices also present in our stall, which is just outside there. So anybody interested can also have a look at this. So if you talk about different categories, irrespective whether it is a notebook or an ultrabook, whether it is a tablet or all-in-one desktop or monitors, we have touch across all the categories. The leading actress, Hollywood actress, and this ad was aired in all the leading channels as well as Indian television is concerned at the moment. So that is all what I have to say, and I again wish to thank you for giving us an opportunity. Thanks a lot.
Mr. Neeraj, that was a very detailed presentation on ASA and very informative. We have with us today Mr. Khan from OCAT. He is in charge of the state data center and a very knowledgeable person, and we are privileged to have him here today with us. I would like to invite him today to speak a few words on SDC security. Thank you.
Delegate. So, it was very interesting talking from the last session I went to court that ICTs are the enabler and the persons, the citizens who are in the end point, in the last mile, they should not feel that for the sake of ICT we are developing the application, giving the hardware, software, and all the resources there. It's not like that. Actually, it's in the implemented point of view. We can have so many things, so many matters, so many things to we want to incorporate depending on the technology we have. But at the end point, what the customer needs is the most important. So in the e-governance perspective, there are actually government of India thought of there are three layers of infrastructure. First layer is the CSE, which already is discussed in my last session. Whereas this is the end by last mile of the CSE at the village level, where the people will be accessing about the information of their needs. It's just like the one-stop shop, where from the people will be getting all the services of their needs. And it's not that the endpoints, that means in CSE level, nothing is available. Actually, the data and resource, data and software application, everything is available at some other point. And in between, the connectivity is given by the government that here, small state wide area network. Here we have 2 Mbps line connected to CSE to up to district level, from district level to block level 2 Mbps, and block level depends from through wireless or through lease line connectivity we are giving to the last mile. So earlier what happens when we are doing the only the MIS activities, that is the G2G activities, our motto was that okay, 10 to 5 or 10 to 6 or 10 to 7. Within that time, we are opening the servers and closing the servers. But nowadays, every services are requiring 24/7 services. Where all the server rooms can suffice because it's very costly to the department to maintain all the server rooms to have the 24/7 services. That's why this concept of the data center has come up, where Government of India has funded all states to have a data center with state IT department initiative. And here in eODISHA we have got state and full-fledged state data center working since last 1 year. So we have the data center here which are having data and application, and CS is the last mile for the citizens. In between is the connectivity, that is the state-wide area network. So bandwidth is not a problem now because our data center is connected to NCAN, that is the National Knowledge Network, which is of 1000 Mbps line, which we tell now our information superhighway. Government of India has funded this, and it is connecting to all the states. So our city, Odisha State Data Center, Tier 2 data center, where uptime is 99.5%. So hardly for a year, hardly we have 20 hours of time. For that is related due to maintenance activity. Everything here is redundant power supply, network redundant, so server redundancy, and database working in a cluster board. Everything is high available, means everything is redundant. We have got here enterprise management to look after the health of the server as well as the application and database. Here we have got building management system for getting a secure environment. We have got a CCTV camera to look at all the activities of data center area. We have got water leakage indicator. We have got rodent repellent system. We have got physically security, two-tier security, our internal security as well as peripheral security. To guard the data center. So data, main today's topic is the data security. We have got another VMS. We have got biometric authentication, system surveillance, and access card system to access inside the critical areas. Regarding the data security, we have got data available here in the water data center, and to have the data backup. We have got enough arrangement in backend made, and also we have got a DR facility at New Delhi for any exigencies. We can have data back up from the remote side. Here also for critical access applications we are suggesting BCP, so one BCP site to be maintained, so that in case of, because in all ATCs having the facility of the data level backup, not the application level backup. That's why we are suggesting all the critical applications of whoever have, they can have their own BCP arrangement in case there is a mishap or there is any sort of problem. They can manage it from their BCP side. DRC, we are managing it for only for data backup. Any organization they want to have their facilities in our data center, in national data center, which are acting our DR, they can purchase their own hardware and they can install there. We have got to have security at network level, at router level, at IPS level, firewall, everywhere in a highly HA mode. We have got here security, semantic deep security, then semantic endpoint protection we have. All the processes are being supervised by, we have got a third-party auditor, which is our Ernst & Young. And to look after that these activities, there is STPC audit in there that is being done yearly twice. We are having that all the processes are audited by STPC as well as ISO certification. We have the process of getting ISO certificate to get all the process level certification. And now we are moving towards the cloud environment. Our data center is moving towards cloud environment. So our main intention is to have the security, data security first, because unless data is there, then we are getting a missing link between citizen and the application or services what we are getting. So for that actually it is the responsibility of the department to assess the critical application, criticality of the application, accordingly plan. To come to our data center, I can say there is a process is there. The department interested to host their data in the data center. First of all, they have had to write to our IT secretary, requesting that they want to migrate their application to data center. Then, depending on their requirement, we will have a discussion. We will have a discussion with their technical persons as well as the department personnel. Whatever platform they have, whether it is available or with us or not. In case we have their platform is available, we can directly allow them in my directly 100% my share hosting mode. If they have a different application, they can go out for the co-location model where they will purchase their own network, own server and own software, and we will simply give the rack space and secured environment. About the data agencies, the data is the primary property of the department and of course property of the citizen. It should be highly secure. If it is put in a state data center, I think we can say it is 100% secure. Unless, so I request to the departments, whoever present, they should host their data in data center instead of going to some other vendors or anybody else. Because if they are in government, then they are safe. If they are outside, I can't say anything comment on that. Thank you, sir. I am back.
Thank you, Mr. Khan. That was an informative session on the state data center as well as security aspects of it, the security of the data, the architecture. Thank you for that. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Murthy from IBM. IBM, as we know, has an extensive experience in and presence in security applications and security systems. And Mr. Murthy now would like to talk about emergency response systems.
And so enjoyment, full of laughter and a lot of anecdotes and stuff. And sir is sitting in front of me, and I'm actually noted down the machhar. So I'm going to use that every time because nobody will clap. So at least for the machhar they will clap. Okay, so I'm part of the government industry. We look at various aspects of cities, rural areas, infrastructure, applications. From a business as well as technology standpoint. But today I'm going to speak about focus on something around public safety. So these are something which can you actually correlate what is common amongst all these places? Anybody, any guesses? This is. Every one of those named cities went through a disaster, a man-made disaster. If I look at those names again, do I know what is common among them again? They went through the natural disaster again. Floods, earthquake, and primarily flooding is not just because of the rainfall or the river flooding. It's also because the civic infrastructure being not so good. So Mumbai as an example, Chennai as an example, Gurgaon as an example. Those are things. So my area of subject today, or the subject of discussion today, is about the public safety area. I would like to actually take you back towards an example. So it's better to give you a live example and then correlate with that with the subject. There's a very beautiful city called Rio in Brazil, and it is surrounded by hills. Very popular city because it has been nominated for FIFA as well as Olympics, and there's a World Congress also which is happening here. The city actually is stuck with a lot of issues. Because of the surrounded hills and everything, it gets a lot of rainfall. The rainfall is not the issue. The issue is the loose soil which is surrounding the hills, and there's a lot of landslides which happen. So every year, there used to be a lot of people who used to get displaced. Movable assets used to get destroyed. Immovable assets used to lost. Lives were lost. So that's for the time when the city mayor took a decision, and you can actually take a correlation of a commissioner here or chief minister or the minister or the parliamentary body out here. So mayor took a decision that I need to do something different. There's another point to it, and I think it's a correlated to Indian environment also. The mayor was supposed to run for his second term in elections. So he wanted to actually give a right message to the citizens saying that I'm actually with you in terms of safety and security of the movable and immovable assets. What can I do? So that's when he said, can I actually, if I cannot take care of the disaster, but can I at least predict or do an early warning system so that I know if it is happening, if it has already happened, before that, at least I know about 24 hours, 36 hours, 72 hours before the disaster strikes. And at least I give some rehabilitation or support services to the citizen. That's where I came into the picture. We did a lot of work with them in terms of weather forecasting and monitoring, because we cannot actually stop a landslide, but what we can actually tell the government very clearly is what is the impact of a change in the weather or a rainfall or the landslide or the infrastructure of that. So I just want to I'll play a video, because there's nothing better than actually telling you the mayor telling you what has happened.
As our world becomes increasingly complex, rapidly growing cities face unprecedented new challenges. Rio de Janeiro, while known for its rich culture, active lifestyles, and stunning natural beauty, is also burdened with crime, aging infrastructure, and natural disasters. Already a burgeoning city of 6 million, Rio now prepares for millions more as they get ready to host the 2014 World Cup and the 2016 Olympics. Like other forward-thinking cities, Rio realized it was in need of a new city operations plan to improve emergency response coordination, manage increased traffic, and improve services for citizens. Rio turned to IBM to create a smarter city by integrating more than 30 agencies into one centralized command center. The new Smarter City system gathers data from sectors across city operations, making it easy for security officials and crisis managers to monitor and respond to problems quickly. Data from sensors and video feeds create real-time maps and routes, working to predict problems and counteract them. Weather monitoring systems format, making Rio a safer city. The result is a visionary city, equipped to react, predict, and plan for current and future events. But this is just the beginning. Rio's Smarter City transformation is set to expand to transportation, public works, and utilities. Every city, large or small, has its own unique challenges. Working with forward-thinking cities like Rio and more than 2,000 other smarter cities,
The mayor and the support system can take precautionary action before it happens. So what is so special about this response center? So very simple, in very simple language, it's a command center. It takes certain inputs from weather forecasting, land-based sensor items, which are 30 sensors on the ground, as well as the weather forecasting panels. Predicts the flow of precipitation on the ground as well as the wind flow and all this stuff, and creates an analytical model. That means we need to have three things. One is a leadership who can think what needs to be done for a city for emergency response. Second is I need to have the data to predict. And third is analytical tools which can help you drive to a conclusion. I'll skip that. I want to actually end this. First of all, we have a lot of all these emergency responses, technology and applications, but what happens is in our education system itself, there is no emergency response services or the education embedded. So first of all, it's very important to have that. And the second is emergency response centers and services doesn't help you prevent an event. It only helps you rehabilitate, protect whatever is possible. So we need to do that. And today, what you need is, I heard someone saying that technology is not a solution to a problem. Although I do not 100% subscribe to that, but technology definitely is a solution which can actually give you options. One of the options can be the right solution towards solving the problem. Okay, so it actually throws you a lot of options. So go for the technology. It's mandatory to embed technology in all your decisions now. And that's all for my side.
Thank you, Mr. Modi. what he actually covered beautifully leads into what I'm going to talk about now. What we've heard so far is what the situation is right now, and what is being done right now. There is something that I would like to talk about is an area of public safety that has grown in importance recently and is becoming more and more relevant for modern systems in India. Coming from a perspective of designing new governance systems, and often when you design something new, the choices that you make at the fundamental and foundational level gives you it dispenses certain advantages or disadvantages to the solution that you actually come up with later. So today what we are talking about is application and infrastructure security in the public safety domain. Now what is public safety? When anything is public safety, when anything that impacts the safety of the public covers is basically in that domain. So as such it is a very vast area, and so it can be anything, and the food that you eat, the water that you drink, the airports that you use, the transportation systems, the electricity power systems, the oil and natural gas systems, all those things can actually impact public safety. Now traditionally, in the physical infrastructure in terms of airports, dams, bridges, hospitals, oil refineries, power plants, water systems, transportation hubs, etc. have been thought of as critical infrastructure of a country. Of late, IT infrastructure and e-governance systems are also being considered as critical infrastructure, and rightly so. However, one of the biggest challenges for the future is not only in one of these things separately, it is at the convergence level of these two. And at the convergence of information technology and traditional industries. This is a particular concern because with this, things in the virtual world are actually causing a real damage in the physical world. So it's not just something happening in the virtual world and stays in the virtual world. It's something that happens in the virtual world. Some action is taken in the virtual world which actually creates a real damage in the physical world. Now shortly after 9/11, the US government found that evidence of terrorist groups trying to visit websites that offer software and programming instructions or digital equipment that run power systems, water systems, communication and transportation hubs, etc. That was one of the focus of terrorists right after 9/11, which could have been there before also, but it was actually focused on and discovered post 9/11. It has also been proven that the inner controls of critical infrastructure can be controlled from outside and can be hacked. For example, in 2006, a water filtration plant near Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, had its security system hacked, and that was a proven fact. It was an investigation done. Malicious software had the capability of disrupting the water treatment operations was planted from outside the operations of the water plant control system. A much more larger event that happened, which garnered a lot more public attention and media attention throughout the world, was that on November 29, 2010, Iran's President Ahmadinejad publicly disclosed that the Stuxnet cyber threat that had affected his country's uranium enrichment plants. Now that was an important thing. The uranium enrichment plants and nuclear facilities and these kinds of infrastructural facilities that we traditionally think of as critical infrastructure, those are outside the purview of the systems which can be accessed through the internet, which can be hacked. That was not so. It was that worms, Stuxnets were designed to sabotage nuclear plants. It was found to also infect systems through network shares and SQL databases. Once the worm found the right configuration, it sabotaged operations by introducing subtle changes to change the speed of the frequency of the rotation of the central uses and drives over several weeks while displaying normal readings to maintain its stealth. So what is important is that even though it was changing something actually, what it was displaying was that everything is actually normal. Now this malware began infecting systems in January 2009, and around that time, after it was discovered, after let's say around 2010 December, and shortly after that, it was found that more than 100,000 computer systems were affected, though most of it were in Iran. 18.22% of that was in Indonesia and 8.31% occurred in India itself. So 8.31% of that, those infections happened in India. Of course, the level of severity of the impact was not the same in India because the work was designed specifically to look for certain kinds of considerations of two particular companies which were active in Iran at that point in time. So the level of impact that happened in India was very minimal. There are many such instances, so I don't need to go into that. I don't need to, explain the importance of this event even more. Now, what is important is that cyber security application and IT infrastructure is a topic of national security. The national security establishment, utility experts, as well as manufacturing experts and manufacturers, etc., have been compelled to make a part of the calculus now. Post guests on the panel for giving me this opportunity to speak and share my thoughts on this important topic. And I invite any questions from any of you or any of the guests here on the panel. So I think that bodes well and has a good indication of what all our speakers have been talking about. I guess everybody has been absolutely clear. So that's a good sign. Thank you all for having us.
Today, when the audiences have just decided to listen and be very patient listeners and not ask questions. Okay, thank you so much to all the speakers for sharing your insight and vision with us. I request Shri S.N. Tripathi ji to kindly come on stage and felicitate our speakers with a little gesture of our appreciation in the form of mementos. Present the mementos. I request Tripathi ji to go on stage. Okay, may we have the mementos, please? Government industry, India and South Asia, IKM India. May we have a big hand for Mr. S.A. Khan, Senior Technical Director, NIT, and Project Manager, Odisha State Data Center. Mr. Neeraj Pancholi, Regional Sales Manager, ACES. And lastly, last but not the least, Mr. Anurag Chaudhary, GM, National Institute of Smart Government. Thank you, Tripathi ji, and thank you all the speakers for your valuable time and presence.